Hands on the knees and just take a little bit of time and we're going to roll the shoulders back and down. If it feels nice, you can turn the palms up so the palms facing up and then feel the weight of your hands resting on the knees. Take a few breaths here, in through your nose, exhale through your nose, or if the temperature bothers you, sometimes it might get too hot, you can breathe out through your mouth. And each time we exhale, let the shoulders descend just a little bit more. And then we are aware of the position of the spine, the position of the chin and the jaw. Like the musicians spend a lot of time, he's Karu, and spend a lot of time toning their music instruments before the play. We're tuning into our body. Be aware of where we are at this point. Bring the mindful breathing back. So throughout the day, we are breathing. We have been breathing nonstop. And this is the time to focus on the breathing. To notice that we are breathing and how it feels with each breath. And let's rest our hands maybe the way they are right now. You can turn your palms to cover your knees if it doesn't feel too comfortable. We're going for a bit of a circle with our upper body to one direction. Now all we need to do is to draw the belly in and let the rest of the body be soft and be heavy. Allow the sitting bones to lift one and the other. Now we're going to circle one more direction, one more time this direction, and then we circle the other direction. Just pay attention to where we feel it in the body. You might feel the side of your hips. You might feel your low back. You might feel your low back, not too strong. You might feel the neck and the shoulders, and tells you a lot where your body is at as we start moving. Going for one more circle this direction. And let's make our way back to the center. And we're going to place our hands behind us, just loosen up the crossing of the legs and do a bit of a windshield wipe and just let everything go. Breathe in one direction, breathe out maybe the other. Maybe bring your legs a little bit far away so that back knee can go a little bit further down if your body let that happen. And slowly we make our way to the center. Now we're going to cross our legs in the weird position. So when you feel a little bit weird, and that's the right position. I honestly don't remember how I crossed my legs, but this feels a little bit newer today, a little bit more stiff. So find a stiff way, find the sitting bones. And from here, again, very tall spine, hands placed behind your head this time. Roll your shoulders back and gently press down with your head toward your hands. Breathe in. Exhale, we're going to close our elbows and tuck the chin. Round the spine, push the belly in. Breathe in, slowly we open. Breathe out, slowly we close. we're going to continue opening and closing. And make sure we complete each breath before we move on. So at a certain point, you might notice your range of motion starting to get bigger. It's bigger opening and bigger closing and rounding of the spine. We're going for one more. Now feel free to stay at the bottom for just a little bit longer. The whole day, I'm trying to hold our head high, hold the posture. Or even though if you are gardening, that's a lot of pressure for your back. And let's stretch it, the entire back line of your body. And slowly we come back up. Now we're going to slowly bring those arms down and lace our fingers behind us. Draw the knuckles toward the floor. Roll the shoulders back and down. And we're going to tuck the chin. And we're going to do that semi-circle or a full circle. I have some spasm happening in the back of my back and on my neck. So I'm not going to go full on. And if certain sensation becomes too strong, please stop there and take some more breath. From carrying mattresses up and down, it causes a lot of pain. I really admire those people who are moving company workers. I don't know. They're just doing one of the hardest works. I'm going to continue back and forth. And going for just one more in each side. And find the center and roll the shoulders down. Separate your hands. Breathe in and lift up into the ceiling. Exhale, let's find that wonderful side bend. Breathe in and center. Breathe out. So if you want to, you can lift the sitting bones. That's okay. And just make that range of motion a little bit bigger. There's no restraining a part of the body. So the breath can go bigger as well. And that's the goal of the entire practice, is to deepen the breath. Go for one more side to side. And let's make our way to the center. So again, you can always tuck your legs to the side or just put your hands in front of you and lift your bum off the floor and roll onto our hands and knees. And let's find our cat and cow. And let's go for one more back and forth. And we're going to go back to that stretching for our fingers and for our wrists. It might be very intense. And the second time around, still very intense. So you're going to take one hand, point 5 fingers towards your knees. And I think that's Claire doing yoga with mommy. Little kids, you will be surprised how flexible they are, their little hands. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift the palm. Maybe the thumb will come off the floor, but the 4 fingers are still on the floor. And slowly we're going to rock back. And maybe we bend the elbow. You should feel very strong feelings across your forearms, your palm, all the way to the front of your fingers. So I'm going to go back, make sure it's not too strong, just enough that you can feel it. You feel a little bit challenging. And then I'm going to shift the weight back. And we're going to rock. Start stretch the front of the fingers and back. Take a break, and then we're going to go to that stretch and back. So what happened is all those fascia start to accumulate, become thicker the older we get. Again, it is genetic somehow, but most likely the older we get, the more stiff we get. So we're going to slowly loosen up a little bit at a time so the blood flow can get through. And I'm going for 2 more. And I'm going for 1 more. And we're going to let go and then start to stretch. Oh my goodness, when you take it out, you can feel very strong feeling, the rebound sensation. We're going to walk those both hands forward and keep your hip just above your knees. And from here, we're going to go to a very long cat. So just like cat, you're going to start to push the belly and the chest in, tuck your chin. It's a very long cat around your spine. And going into more the space between the shoulder blades, the mid-back. And very next inhalation, and slowly let the chest go down. And you might be able to slide all the way down to the floor. Might be just a little bit lower than the cat. Start to stretch that part of the body, stretch the front of your body, and actually add a bit of strengthening and massaging for that part which is stretched. And slowly, this time, stay as low as you can. Push the chest in, push your belly in, tuck the chin. A super long cat, and stay a little bit lower than the first one. And we stay, just breathe. Feel that space opening between the shoulder blades, the back of your shoulders. Breathing to the back of your rib cage. And slowly let the chest melt again. Oh. And this one is the puppy dog. And feel free to rest your forehead on the floor. Who doesn't like puppy dog? And just rest. Let your sitting bone lift and tailbone lift. And all the chest stretching. And slowly we come back to our hands and knees. So we're going to go to the other hand. So same thing. We turn the other hand, fingertips toward the knees. As much as you can, lift the palm, but keep the 4 fingers on the floor. And then slowly we bring the weight back. And slowly we bring the weight forward and back. And forward. So my little girl's telling me to do this and that with the fingers. And I realize how soft her fingers are. Check Claire's fingers, and you might be so surprised how much she can bend back. And tell them not to go too far. It's not a magic show. And I'm just gonna go forward and back. Maybe about 3 more. Breathing to it. And the very last one. And back, we're going for a reverse. So you know how strong the feeling is going to be when we lift our hand off the floor. Just let all the blood going back to the fingers. And then we're going to make the fists. I'm going to place the weight onto the back of our hands. So we stretch the front. Now we stretch the back. So And if it's too much, walk your hands really close to the knees so we don't have to put a lot of body weight on it. But if it's not too much, bring your hands further away from your knees. If you really, really want to challenge your body, which I do not recommend, you can come on your toes. And I don't want to go on my toes. Don't want to try go there yet. But if you really want to, and you can always curl your fingers. I'm gonna do that fin push up. So your elbows are going to the side, going down, and we gently push it up onto the back of the hands. Exhale. Come back up and push it back down. Back up and down. A couple, just feel that stretch happening in the front of, the back of those hands. So going for 3 more. Going for 2. And going for 1. There's some exercises we want to do every day. I would say this is one of them because we are really neglecting those hands. We spend so much time using them and they are neglected. So we want to take care of them well. So need to achieve the balance. So again, pay attention to how you feel tomorrow. Hands on the floor and tuck the toes as we come to the down dog. If it doesn't feel good for your wrists, you can always walk your hands to your feet for the floor. But if it doesn't bother you, start to pedal the feet into walking down dog. Feel free to give your hand a little shake, yes, yes, or no, no, and stretch the back of your neck and shoulders. Now, very slowly, let's find our neutral still down dog if your body lets you. Walk your hands toward the feet a step at a time. Let's come to the back of the mat. If you enjoy the forward fold, you can shift the weight forward into your fingertips and tippy toes. And then shift the weight back and lift to your toes, maybe the front of your feet, and go forward and back, or maybe side to side. Maybe do a little bit nodding and shaking the head and fully relax any knots. We're going for some flow patterns and breathe in. Come up halfway, hands on the shin. Tabletop. Breathe out. Slowly melt onto the floor. And breathe in. 1 vertebrae at a time. We slowly rise all the way up and maybe find a gentle stretch or back bend. And very next breath, we're going for a side bend. Everything come back to the center and going for a side bend. Inhale, we'll come back to the center. Exhale, side bend the other side. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, let's find our chair pose. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way into the sky. And maybe back bend and just take a few more breaths here and noticing you're a little bit taller than the last one. And then we slowly make our way back to the center. Exhale to another side bend. And this time, if your body likes, you can add a layer. You can pick up the opposite elbow and then gently pull that elbow to the back of the head. Add that tricep stretch. And breathe in, come back to the center. Breathe out the other direction. Again, we can add a tricep stretch. And breathe in, let's come back to the center. Exhale, let's find our chair again. Very next inhalation, we shift the weight forward. Exhale, we fold. We're going for one more. Breathe in and come up halfway. Breathe out down. Breathing all the way up. And very next breath and find a little bit more length, even taller. And very next breath, we're going for a side bend. So this time, again, add a layer if you want to. Take the bottom hand, lace the fingers, turn the palm, and add a bit of a pushing the palm to the corner of the ceiling and feel more sensation along that side, all the way to the armpit. And breathing center. And very next breath, we'll go to the other side. You can change the crossing of the fingers and just to balance out left and right. And very next breath, we come back to the center, hands together, and slowly we find our chair. Inhale, shift the weight forward, and exhale, fold. Now, forward fold feels nice. You can always tuck your toes, tuck your hands underneath your feet. And stand on so palms facing up, and stand on the palms of your hands. We're coming for gorilla. Again, we're massaging those hands. And slowly we slide those hands back. Again, once more, we feel the blood flow going into all the fingertips too. And slowly we walk the hands away from the feet. We'll come back to the dog. And lower onto our hands beneath. And let's pick a hand and we're going to circle it, the entire arm. Circle it back all the way around, down. The other one, circle it back all the way around and down. I'm going to keep alternating. Breathe in and breathe out. In and out. I'm going for one more each arm to balance out left and right. And then slowly, when we find the center, we bring the knees apart, toes together, child's pose. And from here, we're going for a side bend here in the child's pose and upper body going into a diagonal. And slowly, let's make our way back to the center. Walk the hands back toward the body. We come back up, knees underneath the hips. And this time, we pick a hand to lead, arm a circle all the way forward, and a big circle back and down. And then the other one. And just alternate again. Feel free to bring the gaze down. So when we circle that arm, we can feel a little bit of a neck stretch. Now going for one more each arm. And let's find the center again. Knees apart, toes together, child's pose, and then we side bend to the other direction. Very next breath, we slowly make our way back to the center, hands toward the knees and come back to the center. Let's take a leg out. Can always start with the one that is close to the camera and then press the opposite hand on the floor and breathe in. We open into that wonderful twist. And keep breathing. Feel free to let the top arm wrap around your low back and let your chest turn a little bit further up toward the sky. And slowly we're going to bring that arm back and down. And from here, we're going to add a little bit of inner thigh, but that's a little bit more active. So the bottom knee is going to go to the diagonal, tuck the toes. So it's like a half child's pose. We're going to shift the weight forward and then we're going to bring it back. So when we shift the weight forward, we feel the arms becoming really active. And we sit back, we feel the inner thigh stretch. Breathe in forward, breathe out back. And just a few more. So this is the time if you want to add on, we shift the weight forward, elbows hugged in, and we're going for a tricep push-up and engage your belly and the exhale, we'll go back. So it's the totally optional. Feel this tricep, we're going for 2. Going forward. And when we done the last one, start to come back, find the just right position for that half child's pose or water bug. Let's try to stretch that inner leg. And very slowly, let's walk our hands back. And the knee that is going in diagonal, bring it back underneath the hip. Now the same leg, and this time we're going to take a step forward. And then from here, let that hip descend to relax the back foot. Now we're going to go back and forth, back to that runner stretch. Take a few more breaths. Whenever you're ready, bend that front knee and come back into that wonderful hip stretch and let your chest lift. We're going to go back and forth. Exhale. And inhale, come forward and let the chest lift. And the very last one. And we stay high. Feel free to grab the blocks for that. We're going to go back to that active pigeon. And so tuck the back toes. Now it's really optional. You don't have to lift the back knee. But if you don't mind, lift the back knee and start to peel the bottom of the front foot off the floor. So we're laying on the outside of that foot. That knee's going to the same direction as the toes. And then let that leg go out. Feel the hip, inner thigh, hip crease. And let the hip descend. Breathe. And then come back. Foot on the floor. Then lean to the outer edge of the foot and let that knee fall out. Hip go a little bit deeper. And then come back. Let's go for 3. And 2. And the very last one. Now last one, we stay here for a little bit longer. Feel free to lower the back knee, relax the back foot. So the hand that is far away from the camera, pushing down the floor, let the body turn toward that front leg. This is option. Let the hip go low. Everything soften. Another option is if you want to add more sensation, so if you can pick up the foot, you can always use the strap for that one, the first thing, and Tom can use the strap. So that is a very juicy, intense thigh stretch. Now, very next breath, we slowly let go that foot. Now we're gonna have that strap close by if they're not. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. We're gonna free the front leg into a down dog or a three-leg dog and stretch it up into the sky. Eventually we meet in the three-leg dog. Give that foot a bit of a circle in the air and circle the other way. That foot, that leg is quite loose now. That side is finished by now. And we're going to go back to that down dog. Shift the weight forward if you want to go down your knees or plank. I'm going to repeat one arm, circle back up and down, and then the other side. So you can always go down to the knees for that one, or you can stay on your knees for that circle, or we're going for a little bit of energy. Let's go for 3 and 2 and last one. Try your best last one not to rock your hips. And we meet back to our down dog whenever you're ready. Whew. And let's slowly lower back onto our hands and knees. Let's take the other leg out. Let's go for the other leg first. And then back into that wonderful twisting toward that side. Feel all the energy, the heat going through the body now. Feels really nice. You can wrap that arm around your back like what we did last time. And slowly we bring that hand down. Now bring that bottom knee into a diagonal toward outside of the mat. Tuck that foot in and sit back into our wonderful half child's pose. And then we go forward and back again. Now, if again you want to add on, you can go for that tricep push-up on this side. Maybe going for one more, forward and back. And then we're going to meet here in that half child's pose, wherever feels the best, and relax the upper body and feel that entire inner leg, the other side, is starting to loosen up and starting to let go. And slowly we come back to our hands and bring that knee back underneath the hip And that leg go forward into a lunge position. And from here, we let the hips slowly sink. It might take a little bit to figure out where is the best position for both feet. And then we shift back and forth. So depending on which leg you are on, my right side, my dominant side, is working that hamstring stretch, which is so tight right now. And you might find a little bit smaller range of motion compared to the other side or more. And then go back and forth. Breathe in and breathe out. And let's go for one more back and forth. And from here, let's try that active pigeon. I'm going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and start to lean onto the outer edge of the other foot. Let the knee fall out. The bottom of the foot come off the floor. And then slowly make our way back to that lunge. And then slowly let that knee fall out. Not the knee, the entire leg. Knee should be completely comfortable in there. And exhale, 3 more. 2. A little bit of a challenge for the upper body and the opposite leg as well. And last one, we're going to stay. Again, at this point, you can always lower the back knee, relax the back foot, and then start to turn, let the hip go really low toward the floor and let your body turn to the other side. Again, if you're looking for just layer, so tight for me this side. Might feel extremely tight at the beginning. Give your body some more deep breath, and then slowly the thigh will come down. And then we're going to roll them out anyways after a while. So if this is not available, or use a strap, just loosen up only a little bit first. And very slowly, we're going to let go of that foot, hands on the floor, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, down dog or 3-leg dogs. And then we eventually meet in that 3-leg dog. The other leg feels so much lighter. Into the air, do some foot circle, feels nice. Now let's make our way back. We're not going to go for that wonderful plank arm circle, but we're going to try, spend quite a bit of time loosening up the hips and legs. Let's take the first leg up into the sky, back into 3-leg dog. You might want to stay, you might want to start to try walk your hands toward that standing foot. A step at a time, we're going to try a little bit of a standing split. Bring your weight to that standing leg, nose to the knee. You should feel very intense stretch the back of the calf. That's where I feel. And slowly we make our way back to that 3-leg dog. And then back to down dog. We're gonna have one more leg, last leg to go. Keep that leg up into the sky again. And you might stay, you might ready to walk the hands. So the best part about this is you can stop walking anytime your body tells you to stop. Keep breathing. And start to walk the hands back to the front of the mat. And down dog. And from here, slowly walk the hands and feet toward each other. Grab the strap on the way up and take your time. We slowly make our way up, one vertebrae at a time. And then we find our reset into the mountain pose. So the blood flow going back to the feet, like, which that's our way pretty much all the daytime is the right side up. And let's come into a wide leg position. The straps are about maybe wider than your shoulder, so your body into approximately a V shape. And then we're going to work a little bit of an oblique. So start to hug that in. I'm going for a side bend. So from here, instead of completely bend down, you know, slowly shift the hip to one side, and then gently we send the knuckles to the corner of the ceiling. Let the inner thighs, it's almost a triangle, but we're not going all the way down. Breathing center and breathe out the other direction. Breathing center, we find the center. Let your arm fall. So if there's pinching, anything to stop this, lengthen the strap again, roll it back. Ooh, you should feel all the shoulders. Still too strong for me. And roll it forward. It really takes a little bit to adjust until the just right position. Now from here, we're going to go for another side. And center hug your spine in with all those oblique muscles. So we're going to go to the other side. Center. And slowly we make our way back to that entire shoulder. And then come up. And from here, we're going to turn the toes out, knees out. And we're going, maybe the strap's a little bit shorter. We're going for a bit of a turn and a big circle down, sweep through the floor to way to the other leg, and slowly come back. And let's go to the other direction, like a waterfall down. Inhale the second half of the circle up. So your legs are helping out, belly's pretty strong. Exhale down, inhale up. The other side, exhale down, inhale up. And just two more time, two more back and forth. Very last one. Try to keep your arms straddled and shoulders starting to burn. And down. Last one. And make our way to the center and lengthen the strap if you need to. See, this is make me stuck. So we're going to go all the way back again. Ooh, I can feel completely all over my arms. Now make the strap shorter. And even shorter, you might even lace your fingers and bring your hands together. Turn your toes up, bend your knees. So going for that shoulder extension. So the wider the hands are, the more you get out of that rotation of the shoulder. Again, it's genetic. Everybody's shoulder structure is different. You should feel, again, very complicated feelings around your shoulders. And slowly we unwrap the hands with one, wrap one hand and let your arms fall. So the blood flow goes into your hands, and feel free to do a bit of a rocking from side to side. You should feel the heaviness. I'm just checking the time. I'll never remember to bring my time downstairs. Always plan too much, but we're going to go for one more. So from here, we're going to walk our hands to, it doesn't matter which side, just walk our hands to one side. And I'm going to, so here we're in a lunge position. We lower that back leg and relax the foot. So again, we're going to use the strap. Slowly come up into that lunge position. Hands are a little bit wider, because we're going back again. So from here, I find it's helpful for balance to keep the toe tucked in. You can do whatever feels just right for the body. And let the chest lift and let the hip go down. And slowly a circle. Ooh. Oops. And slowly come back up. And from here, we're going to hinge back. Now, your option is to stay, or if your body lets you, go a little bit further with the next exhalation. And inhale and scoop that. Energize the glutes. Scoop it up. Front foot on the floor. Bend the front knee. Let that hip descend to a big circle. Feel how big the breath, each breath is. Exhale. We're going for 2 more. Your last one. Now from here, we're going to let go of the strap and place the hands on either side of the front leg. Feel free to do a little bit wiggle, just loosen up a little bit more. Seems mellow, but that was actually pretty hard to hold that body weight. And from here, we're going to try a bit of a transition. Bend the front leg, place the front foot on the floor, start to shift the weight forward. From here, the hand that is close to the front foot on the floor, we slowly lift up. Now, if your body lets you, start to peel your chest off the floor and start to open into that wonderful moon position. Feel how open your hip is. And slowly we bring those hands down. Stretch up. Actually, we're going to ground both feet in front of that mat into a forward fold. When you're ready, breathe in 1 vertebrae at a time. We rise. Exhale, hands into prayer. And slowly transition into that forward fold. Feel the energy flow, a big circle with those arms. More checking with the space in the shoulders. Exhale, fold. A few more of the complete circles of the circle of energy. Going for 2. Very last one. Let's meet here in the forward fold, and feel free to hold on to the opposite elbow. Do a little bit of a sway from side to side and forward and back. And slowly we place our hands on the floor, the leg that is close to the camera. Step back. And we just walk our hands all the way around to the other leg. And then come back into our lunge position and have the strap ready. We're going for the other side. So slowly we'll come up. Today it's extremely hard for me to find the right distance. So just adjust until your shoulder's not complaining. And then we slowly come back into that wonderful stretch. Chest lift. And exhale. A little bit of a strengthening. Belly in, hinge through the pelvis. We fold. And back and forth. If you notice the balance is a little bit off, try to tuck the back toes, see how that feels. It worked for me. It doesn't work for everybody. It doesn't hurt to try something slightly different. And breathe in. Open. Exhale. Close. Very last one. And we stayed last one a little bit longer. And let go the strap anytime you're ready. And let's just stay here for a little bit more. That forward fold, you can do a bit of a rocking, shaking the head. And whenever you're ready, we plant that front foot on the floor, we bend the knee and start to power up with that foot. The other hand is there to help out. And slowly we lift the other leg and maybe start to open the chest into our moon. And slowly we ground everything down into a forward fold. Breathe in, and one vertebrae at a time we rise back into the sky. Breathe out, going back to that wonderful circle. Another big circle with those arms, rise. Exhale, fold. And continue with that energy with no beginning and no end, and flows through the body. Very last one. Forward fold where we meet. Let your upper body be so heavy again. Whenever you're ready, we land the hands on the floor, take a leg back, then the other, down, down. And make our way to our hands and knees, and let's find cat and cow. And just to slow down the energy just a little bit more. Bring the body somewhere in the middle, between upside down and right side up. We're in the middle now. And I'm going for one more back and forth. And then slowly come back to our neutral spine. So let's find a roller. Roll out our thighs just a little bit more. So I find another thing you quite want to do every twice or maybe once or twice a week. So those areas are really tight. And you want them to be tight, but you don't want them to be too tight to the point that it's painful. So we're going to come down onto our forearms and start to roll the front of your thighs. I find the thighs not too bad. To me, is the IT band really, really painful. So we're going to go for about 7 to 8. And you notice if you let your belly come down the floor, there's actually a very nice belly stretch. And you can always turn the toes in and out, and just to assess where is the best place to row. And maybe we'll go for one more. And today we're just going to go very simple from the front. We're going straight to the side. Oh. And then from here, make sure it's the elbow, not the handle. We need to give the hand a break. And the bottom leg is getting the roll. Top leg is the supporter. Again, if the leg is at the front, actually behind the roller, you will feel more the front of that IT band or the back toward that hamstring. The leg goes back. So Oh, that really hurts. Ah. So again, 7 to 8 of them. Oh, that's my rock. I feel like there's like a line of gravels, rocks, or glasses on the side of my body. And that's how tight it is. And sometimes all the time it sends tightness all the way to my shoulder. So we do need to take some effort to loosen it up. And maybe just 2 more. And maybe just 1 more. And down. And let's go to the other side and maybe give that shoulder a little bit of a relaxation. And then the other leg, the side of the leg, go on the roller. The biggest fascia in the body. And whenever you're ready, ooh. See the left side, this is my left leg. It's not as painful as the right one. My right side is dominant side. So subconsciously, we always put the body weight more on one side. One side of the body always works harder than the other. And one of the purpose of yoga is to balance it out. For maybe 2. Here's the last one. You should feel quite a bit. You probably know you got the right place because most of us will feel it. And then we're going to go to our calf muscles. Again, you can just stay here. You might feel it. Or we're just going to add a little bit more weight to that hands, the arms, and shoulders, and just let that body weight completely collapse onto the calf, maybe to the bottom of your knees. I can feel really, really strong massage in the bottom of the calf. Maybe for 3 more. Don't worry, we're gonna go to the shoulder massage too. And very last one. And that's it. We're gonna slowly lower down. And we're gonna lie down now. Let's put that roller underneath our bum first. Getting that wonderful bum massage. So before we go there, we're gonna do a little bit of a belly. So push the belly down, hold everything in the middle, maybe hold on to the roller with your hands, and knees over the hip, flex the feet, push it into about 45 degrees, and lower, and bend our knees again. So we're gonna push, and down. Let's go for 2 more push. And do not collapse into your back. Everything's holding the middle, last one. And bend to the front here. We're gonna stretch one leg down and bring the other knee to your chest. And bend, and I'm gonna switch, or you stretch the other leg down and squeeze the other knee to the chest. So you do almost like, it's not a split, that leg needs to be really straight, but you should feel that legs stretching away from each other, so the hips opening up. So come back. And the second time, maybe bring those legs a little bit lower, and then back. And push it away. And back. And every time you move your legs, you should feel your bellies work first. And back. 1 more. And back. We're going to go for another one. So this time, if your body is ready, we're going to do a scissor. That leg can be bent or slightly straighter and bent. Again, when we switch leg, the belly's working first, then legs. And scissor and bent. Switch again. Bent. And switch again. And back together. One more time. Last one. And from here, we're just going to keep the knees crossed. It doesn't matter which side, which leg go first. And then let the inner knees touch, inner thighs touch. And I'm going to go for that side to side and rocking. Here's our bum massage. So you should feel right here, the glutes. If you don't, let the body go a little bit further, or maybe bring the knees closer to the upper body. So you should feel more. And try to stay away from that bony part and try to move into the meaty part. Should feel really good. That area that causes sciatica pain when those muscles are tensed up, it causes sciatica pain. So let's massage them and make them happy. Give them lots of blood flow. I'm going to go for one more each side. If you want to stay on one side for a little bit longer, after you find a knot there, stay longer. And let's go back. And from here, we're going to just uncross our legs and take your time to see if the roller is rolling away from you. And then we cross the legs the other way. And again, we're going for that ball massage. Oh my goodness, that feels so good. And make sure you get into that meaty part of your leg, the hip, the outer hip. And then try your best to glue those shoulders on the floor and keep your upper body as relaxed as you can. And we're going to go for one more each side. And slowly we bring everything to the center. Again, adjust if you need to. So from here, we're just going to bring those knees up. And let's try a happy baby now. And you can hold on to your inner thigh, your outer thigh, calf, ankle, feet. Doesn't matter. Do a little bit of a rounding and stretching. Feel the stretch around your low back a little bit. I feel a lot of mid back. If your happy baby is not enough, you can always stretch a leg and then into a big leg, inner leg, and a hamstring stretch. And like always, I feel my calf muscles the most. Now let's slowly make our way back and let's get to the shoulder. Every day we can do that. It won't hurt. For me, I don't know about you, my shoulders are always tight. So do this every day. It just feels amazing. So have that roller behind your shoulder now. Hold your head with your laced hands. Now from here, you can always lift your hip forward or not. Actually going to start lifting our hips. So hold everything in the middle And then just gonna roll forward in the back. So we're not bending, we're not collapsing. We just hold and just roll on. Just hold your head and roll that entire mid back. Should feel quite a bit of tender spots in there. Just try your best to cover a lot of area. Now maybe just go for 2. And last one. If you don't want to stop, feel free to keep going. I know it feels really good. Now we're going to stop around that shoulder blade area. So from here, I'm just going to slowly lift the chest and doing a little bit of a bending of the entire spine and lower it down. And maybe put your hip on the floor and do a little bit of squeeze and pulling. Stretch the back of your neck again and open. A lot like a cat and cow here. Maybe one more. Now take your time and slowly get off the roller. Take your time to bring the roller away. One more attempt to open the shoulders. From here, we're going to, first of all, maybe do a little bit loosening of the hip before we straighten those legs. And maybe windshield wipe from side to side. And whenever you're ready, we're going to straighten those legs. And then we're going to bend those elbows into about 45 degree, palms facing up, chest lift. So for some of us, this is super comfortable. For some of us, a little bit stuck. And the very next exhalation, we're going to cross our elbows. Give yourself a really, really tight hug. And feel free to evolve this into an eagle and let your upper body, elbows lifting away from the chest. Fingers to the top of your head. And very next breath, uncross the arms, open back into that cowboy surrender or cactus arms. See if you notice a little bit more space. And exhale, cross your elbows the other way, very tight hug, or evolve into that wonderful eagle. Lift your elbows, stretch the other side. So we're going to go back and forth. And very next inhalation, uncross, open. And exhale, cross, hug, or eagle. Going for one more. Cross the eagle one more time, a different way. Now from here, slowly we return back to cactus arms. And stay here just for a few more breaths and start to relax your fingers. So if this position of the arms does not work for your shoulders, feel free to change into a different degree of the bending. Doesn't have to be 90 degree. Noticing how shoulder blades are positioned at this point and lifting the chest off the floor. And anytime you're ready, release those arms into their most comfortable position. Let's find our final position, the most natural way. We're lying down. Allow the back the opportunity to adapt to the shape of the floor. Each exhalation is the adaptation. Exhale, body descent into the ground, supporting us. I take a few deeper inhalations and we start to wiggle our fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Maybe turn our head from side to side just to wake up the neck. And maybe we gather our knees in one then the other and give the knees a very tight hug. Maybe we want to rock from side to side. And let's find our favorite side. Take our time and to cuddle up a little bit longer there. It's healthy sometimes to be lazy. So we learn to relax because our body needs it. And we slowly come up if you're ready. Only if you're ready. And let's find our sitting bones if you're sitting. And we take one more complete breath into the bottom of the lung. And exhale and completely ground. Namaste, everyone.